the kind of follow-up that should take place when it comes to the parish development model, because we do know that the parish development model in one way or the other actually helps, is going to help, you know, to eradicate poverty, especially in people's communities and stuff like that. Looking at this vis-a-vis the SDGs, yeah, one of the SDGs I think should be number 1 or number 2, talks about zero hunger, I think should be number 1, and then number 2 talks about eradication of poverty and then stuff like that. And so basically all that the government is doing is in line with, you know, with what the sustainable development goals are talking about, because one other issue is the eradication of poverty, then the aspect of you know, the education, the aspect of clean water, you know, equality and all that, yeah. And so when groups of such nature, because the government always talks about people having groups, and when such groups come together, and at the end of the day, you know, a lot is put in the communities, and then at the end, you know, it is actually these parishes or these villages that end up benefiting from from a number of these projects. Okay, so and yes, to keep going on, I beg your pardon. Basically, there is, I must say, a meeting of Konyi war victims in Western Nile region that is taking place today. This meeting emanates from a number of other meetings that took place previously. If you can remember, as we are heading towards 2021, you do remember that at a certain point, the people in Western Nile region actually had wanted what? Had wanted to be compensated by, you know, the government as far as the suffering they endured in the hands of Konyi is concerned. And if you can remember that the number of people who were traveling in buses who were killed by Konyi, and this was basically during the Konyi wars. I do have, you know, knowledge of a gentleman, I must say, he's now an old man, yeah, whose first son, actually up to now, he has never found. So he sent the child to Kampala, not the child, but the firstborn, who was, of course, of age, who was in the university, I think was in the second year, or stuff like that. So he sent him to Kampala to go and bring business items from Kampala to meet his business partners. And when this gentleman was coming back from Kampala, the bus was ambushed. And you know what happened? The rest is history. He disappeared, and up to now, nobody knows his whereabouts, whether he was killed and dumped in the Anaka forest or in the game park or what, nobody knows. And so basically this is the situation that occurred way back then. So the Konyi war victims in Western Nile region are actually having meeting with the RDC, I must say the RCC Arua today. And so others came all the way from Moyo. Yeah, I know of one that has come all the way from Moyo to be able to be part of this, because the husband was killed when they were traveling from Kampala to Moyo back then. And I also know of one whose son was killed in the process, and stuff like that. They just removed people from the bus, and what happens is they make you they ask you to make a line, and then those that they were fit, they allow them to move, especially women. For this gentleman specifically from Moyo who was killed, he was eventually asked to get out. He was, I think, a teacher back then, and so he went to get salaries of teachers from Kampala. So when he was coming back, I think they got wind of some money that was around. They stopped the bus. In the process, the gentleman refused, so they shot his arm, and in the process, they stopped the car, and then they removed him, and they told him to remove all the monies. After removing the money, the women, they wanted to kill them, but this man, because the wife was around in the car, he pleaded and said, please, allow my wife to leave. Just allow my wife to leave, I will go with you. So they allowed the wife to leave, then they set the car ablaze, you see. And so that was the situation that happened back then. But a number of these people have not been compensated by the government, and this has created some kind of anger in the victims, yeah, the survivors, if I may say. And these survivors are actually in the city to meet with the local resident city commissioner to be able to forge a way forward. If you can remember, at a certain point they had sued the government, and when they sued the government, they were supposed to proceed with the case. I think it was Madira and company advocates plus, Ondoma Sam. Yes, there's a lawyer called Ondoma Sam and stuff like that who works under Laka and company advocates who was handling this. And so in the process, the government leaders came through and said, no, we cannot settle such matters in the courts of law. Let's settle this out of court. And they agreed that, yes, they would be compensated. But some years down the road, this was before the 2021 elections, and up to now, no meeting has been held with them, no tangible discussion has been held with them. And so it is now that they started to raise their voices to say, if you are not going to do this, we are going to be doing this and that and stuff like that. And so basically that has caused all this kind of meeting that is going to be taking place this very, very morning. And so we wish them a very fruitful discussion. We'll be able to bring you up to speed with a number of issues, and specifically to be able to make an understanding of what transpired in this meeting. Our colleague Orengi Dennis will be able to make a follow-up, especially on that meeting at an appropriate time. Okay, now we'll take a break, and when we come back, we'll be diving deep into this a number of issues, yes, a number of stories that I will be bringing up to speed, and probably from tomorrow we'll be able to have a guest from as early as 7:30, by the way. And so, and this is the change of program that we'll be having. Kokoliriko will be coming very early in the morning at such a time going forward. Okay, well, good morning. Let's take a break.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
He must be rich, tall, handsome, from a respectable family. He must have a maid, because at our home we do not work.
Conductor Masao.
Why? Obadde olobye ku ssimu?
Yamunange, anti your TV enkolera.
Enjoy a new world of entertainment with over 80 TV and radio channels, plus movies from wherever you are. Download the YoTV Channels app from your app store and enjoy 30 days of free streaming with MTN.
YoTV Channels, the power is in your hands.